This week on LandLeader Television.
We are the leaders of the land. Land is what we live on. It can be explored, built upon, and cultivated. Land holds our wildlife, crops and livestock, and the homes in which we live. It provides a resource for your family. It's what our forefathers settled and our brave fight to protect. It asks that you respect it, keep it free, and put back what you have taken. At times, it's purchased, sold, and traded, and it's passed on from generation to generation. So it's our duty as land brokers to be champions of conservation, habitat management, and ownership. We possess a deep love for our land and respect for all it provides. We are LandLeader.
This segment is brought to you by California Outdoor Properties.
Hi, my name is Todd Renfrew from California Outdoor Properties. Welcome to the Golden Nest Orchard. Thanks for joining us today. The Golden Nest Orchard is a beautiful property located in Capay Valley. The ranch is 317 acres. It has 101 acres of pistachios ranging from 3-year-olds to 2-year-olds to 1-year-olds. And what makes this ranch so special is the 200 acres of open ground that's previously had sunflower, sweet corn, broccoli, and is a prime candidate for almonds and walnuts. You can pretty much grow whatever you want out in this ranch. The ranch has 3 wells. The newer well is getting 2,000 gallons a minute, the other well is 1,000, and the third well is 450 gallons a minute. I've known Alan for a long time and really enjoy working with him, and you'll get to meet him, and he's a great guy.
My name is Alan Simonis. I've been a farmer since 1978. When I graduated from college, I started farming. My parents were not farmers, so I accumulated over the years. I bought some properties, and we raise a lot of sweet corn, and we grow vegetables for Rayleighs and things like that. And I put my heart and soul into this ranch. We built really nice buildings. We planted pistachios. Their trees are doing very well here. We also are growing a little bit of row crop on this property, but our intention is to continue keep planting pistachios to fill up the rest of the ranch. There's 320 acres here. We have 3 wells here to produce water. There's ample water here. This property has a little pond in the back, but that's basically used for the water for the cattle. There's a seasonal creek that runs through the ranch during the winter time. Planted a few redwood trees around just for aesthetics and stuff to give it a little bit more of a relaxed atmosphere. We park a lot of storage here with equipment. We also pack sweet corn in this packing shed right here, this barn, it's 150 feet by 120 feet in size. It's ventilated. It's got heavy duty roll-up doors. We didn't skip any corners in the construction of these buildings. We also have 2 more buildings on the ranch. One's a shop that's 30 by 40 that we use to work on equipment. And there's also a barn we use for cattle. This valley is actually nicknamed Hungry Hollow. It's next to Capay Valley, which is where the Cache Creek Casino is, and then there's some really nice restaurants over there. The nearest town that's of any size is Woodland. It's 20 miles, but it's pretty much a farming community. They have a lot of things for equipment, for farming, irrigation supplies, everything's right there. I chose this ranch also because the soil here was very excellent in quality. The pistachios are growing very well. We've had our agronomist come out here on several occasions, and he says there's nothing you can do to the trees. Everything you're doing here is fine. It looks really good. I chose pistachio trees because their lifespan can be 100 years. I mean, it's great for your sons, your family, whoever wants to participate. There's a lot of years of pistachio production. So we chose pistachios, and I'm glad we did. I planted this pistachio orchard over here to kind of retire and relax, but I guess there is no relaxation when you get older. It's just nothing but more work, and I'm 65 years old. I'd like to retire. I chose California Outdoor Properties to market my property because I was impressed with their video sales and their presentation of properties to be sold. You get a really good picture of what you're buying and what you're looking at through the videos.
I think what makes California Outdoor Properties stand out is that we are built on individuals that grow hay, run cattle, hunt, fish, and we're selling what we do. We get commented all the time as, wow, you have an amazing job. And I would have to agree with that because I love seeing land and I love meeting the people I deal with, and I think that shows in our company.
This portion of the show is brought to you by Mahindra and participating farm credit locations. It's about people far and wide, from coast to coast. The farmers, the ranchers, their cattle and crops, weekends in the woods, blueberries, peaches, a fishing pole, and your grandpa's rifle. Best friends, the love of your life, our children. It's about making this real. We've been financing your life for more than a century. We're Farm Credit. We're here to help you grow.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest tractors on earth. Like a Mahindra Emax 22 as low as $99 a month. Or get up to $8,100 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 7-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard. Hurry in for clearance savings and get your work done, America.
Looking to sell your ranch or farm? Visit LandLeader.com to learn about our exclusive network of the best farm and ranch brokers across the country. LandLeader member brokers are the leaders in their areas, representing the finest properties and providing their clients with the most property marketing in the nation. From ranches and farms to sporting properties and vacant land, we're the largest land marketing company in America. Give us a call or visit LandLeader.com today.
LandLeader Television is brought to you by LandLeader, exclusive properties worldwide. Mahindra, toughest utility vehicles on earth. Gunworks, 1,400 yards right out of the box. Cinch jeans and shirts. Lead, don't follow. And by participating farm credit locations. Now it's time for this week's Property Update. In Season 1, we toured a cattle ranch listed by Hayden Outdoors near Cheyenne, Wyoming, called the historic Francis Cattle Ranch. Over 13,000 acres of grass pastures, creeks and bluffs that had been in the Francis family for over 100 years. This ranch spanned over 9 miles in width and included 30 pastures, 5 creeks, multiple reservoirs, and multiple water tanks for cattle. Over 400 acres of flood-irrigated hay meadows produced just under 1.5 tons of hay per acre in previous years, providing winter feed for over 300 head of cattle. After the airing of that episode, many potential buyers toured the property in hopes to continue the cattle operations on this historic ranch. One such buyer contracted and purchased the ranch, and the transaction was brokered by Bill Vasick of Hayden Outdoors. Since then, over 50,000 acres in southeast Wyoming across multiple ranches have been bought or sold by managing broker Dax Hayden and the exceptional land broker team at Hayden Outdoors. This portion of the show is brought to you by Cinch Jeans and Shirts and by Gunworks Rifles.
It comes to this moment, this is what he's prepared for. He's learned the science of long-range shooting. He knows how to select the right gear and how to compensate for wind. He's practiced. He's trained. Now, at 880 yards, he is ready. Gunworks, Long Range University. Visit gunworks.com.
Now's a great time to buy your next farm, ranch, or recreational property. The premier broker members of LandLeader represent the finest properties available on the market today, from working cattle ranches to income-producing farm ground, equestrian facilities and agricultural land to sporting properties and land rich with mineral rights. Let the LandLeader network help you find your next piece of land. Tour thousands of properties for sale online at landleader.com.
Arkansas River Farms is 2,542 acres of dry land farm ground in Bent County, east of the town of Pueblo, Colorado. This offering consists of 5 separate farm parcels near John Martin Reservoir and the Arkansas River, with an abundance of deer and turkey on each of these properties. These parcels each have a source of running water via irrigation ditches or creeks. Call Jim Digby today for a private tour.
Now it's time for the Farm Credit Tip of the Week.
Buying land? Make sure you consider the availability of water. I'm Jesse Dumas with Farm Credit of Northwest Florida. Every day, my goal is to help land buyers finance property to live on, play on, or farm. However, what's important to one landowner may not be important to another. Is the topography suitable for your use? Is there sufficient cash flow from timber to meet your objectives? These days, one essential feature to consider is water. In some parts of the country, either due to drought or well drilling moratoriums, the quality and availability of a water supply is extremely important when determining the value of a piece of property. Some people even say that water is the new oil. So before you agree to purchase property or decide how much you want to borrow, make sure you're in the know on one of life's and land's essential elements, water. Again, I'm Jesse Dumas with Farm Credit of Northwest Florida with your tip of the week.
This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors.
I'm Stacy Johnson with Hayden Outdoors and LandLeader. I'm based out of Hays, Kansas, and currently work all of western Kansas. But today we're going out to view the Hallagin Ranch. This ranch is an absolutely incredible piece of property. Pretty much has everything one could want. It's got 5,500 plus total acres. It's got irrigated crops. It's got approximately 4,000 acres of grass. This property is separated by the Smoky Hill River, which is one of the main rivers that flows through western Kansas. On top of all this, this property was located right next to Cedar Bluff Reservoir, which is 6,500 acre reservoir controlled by the Corps of Engineers. This property is home to everything from white-tailed deer, mule deer, all of your local predators like your coyotes, your bobcats, your raccoons. Waterfowl hunting is incredible. Geese, ducks, pheasant, quail, pretty much everything one could want is on this property. The fences on the property have been redone within the last year and a half with iron corner posts and steel gates. It's just truly a dream for any outdoorsman.
Well, my name's Troy Halligan. I'm the owner of the Hallagin Ranch. I'd like to say one of the most unique things about this property is all the water that we have. I know in a lot of places maybe that's not a big deal, but out here in western Kansas, I mean, it's a pretty big deal to have 3,000 acres right here where a guy can winter your cattle, and you never have to chop ice because we've got live water. I talked to people in Stockton with Division of Water Resources, and they said one of the reasons that this lake was built here, the lake is 1.5 miles here from this property, was to not disturb the springs on this property, because they knew if they left this property alone, there would always be water in the river. You can run your cattle across the road and winter them down in all those trees on the river, and you just don't have to worry about water. We have over 5,500 acres. We have 2 circles for the irrigation. That whole bottom, the whole river bottom down there is approved for irrigation. We have 888 acre-feet of water rights, but instead of trying to do pipe and ditch irrigation, I basically just use the circles. I just don't, being a dentist, I don't have the manpower or the time to run that much irrigation, but certainly a lot more could be irrigated. We have 1,100 acres of farm ground. You know, of course, there's the cattle for income. Right now, that's the biggest income with commodities being as low as they are. There's oil on the property. In January, we get the mineral rights. There was 13 wells on this property when we bought it. It's down to 10 now. Some of those wells have fizzled out, but I've heard talk that they're talking about water flooding some of the areas and trying to increase the oil production. No, the first piece that I bought was the Circle S Ranch. It was 2,300 acres, and then just little by little we just kept adding to it. Bought the feedlot across the road and added a sprinkler then too, so that one sprinkler on the feedlot, it's only maybe 3 years old. Added a section here, and then a couple years ago we added, I think it was 2,000 acres on the Kingsley. The nice thing is everything's here is real close. Right now we're running about 500 cows, and we have plenty of grass. If a guy wants to just ride around on 4-wheelers and check cattle all day, that's kind of what we enjoy. We have 3 outbuildings here. And each one of the outbuildings, we basically have what amounts to a studio apartment, whether you put hired hands or kids or overflow if you have visitors. Certainly the amenities are there to make them comfortable. They all have satellite TV. The house is it's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath house. Pretty comfortable for us. Yeah, if you drive around for just a little bit, you're going to see turkey, hundreds of turkey, deer, and it's not an exaggeration to see 300 deer in an afternoon. I mean, pheasants and quail, and certainly you can grab a fishing pole and go down and fish in the river. With dry years, it actually is a lot better because the nice thing is we always have water here. The dove hunting, I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do is dove hunt. I sat in a deer stand for 2 nights a couple years ago, and I shot a 175. He wasn't the one I wanted, but he's the one I settled on just because I just didn't want to take the time to sit in the stand much longer. Pretty much anywhere along here, you just set out a bail blind, and it's real easy to shoot really however many deer you want. And of course you can do tree stands up in any of those trees. But this corner of the river down here is where all the big bachelor group of bucks. One of the biggest deer shot in the last 10 years was just shot right out here. I mean, I had 3 200 class deer on camera last year. We didn't get any of them, and hopefully they made it through. The quail, you know, they just walk through your yard. Of course, pheasants are numerous, and I don't hunt the turkey and deer a whole lot. I just let friends do it. But if a guy wanted to try and make some income, you certainly could put up some hunters in those studio apartments, basically, that I put in our outbuildings, and they would have their own place, and a guy could really develop the hunting out here. I haven't had the time.
This segment is brought to you by LandLeader, exclusive properties worldwide.
Landowners, Mahindra's inventory clearance sale is going on now. We're reducing prices like never before on the toughest utility vehicles on earth. Like a Mahindra XTV 750S as low as $135 a month. Or get up to $3,450 in cash back and savings. Plus, Mahindra's 3-year limited powertrain warranty comes standard. Hurry in for clearance savings and get your work done, America.
Are you experienced in farming, ranching, or recreational properties? Do you have a passion for the outdoors? Are you seeking a profession in real estate and land sales? If so, LandLeader is growing our team of real estate brokers and agent members across the country. We offer a strong network, excellent property marketing support, real estate training, and national affiliation of land brokerages that is second to none. For more information on becoming a member of LandLeader, visit us at landleader.com.
This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors.
Well, it is a pretty diverse piece of property, you know, with all the trees, and then you have the grasslands and crop ground. There's some Indian caves up north of an old abandoned house that we call Sid's. Those have since kind of fallen in, but it's still kind of neat to see them up there. The people that work at Sport Haven say they used to go up there all the time and find arrowheads, different things. The other thing is, once you know this property real well, somebody wants to come out and go coyote hunting, you say, well, I know where 4 coyotes are right now, and I know where the mule deer are, and I know where the whitetail are, and once you familiarize yourself with the property, you know where all these things are. It comes through here, that's the old BOD trail there, Butterfield Overland Dispatch. And they stayed, I asked somebody one time, I said, why did they just stay in the same place and make such deep ruts? And they said the grass would be so tall, they had to stay in the same trail so they'd know where they were going. When you get the cattle in here enough, you can follow the trail all the way through the property. Used to have a duck boat and go out on the lake, and really got into that and enjoyed it, but then I sold my duck boat when I bought this place because I can walk down here to the river, and if shooting time's at 7:10, I can take 2 people down there, we'll have our limit of ducks, and we'll be back up here drinking coffee at 7:30. And that works pretty well until the bald eagles move in. Now when the bald eagles move in, you gotta work a little bit harder, but there was a time this fall when I drove down there with a buddy and we stopped counting bald eagles at 50. I think we had about 4 golden eagles and the rest of them were bald eagles. As soon as the eagles move in, the ducks move out. And they're in smaller pockets. You don't have one big group of 10,000 ducks anymore. Well, obviously this property has a lot of miles of fence on it, but especially over on the Kingsley, we're basically going all the way around it with new fence, and that'll be done here in a couple weeks. We've done some across the road. I mean, we do little by little. We probably do between 4 and 5 miles every year. That's what we're doing again this year. That's what we did last year. Nice gates to get in and out of the farm ground. Plus, then you can also, if you have milo stocks, you can just open up the gates, and then you got a nice fence that's keeping your cattle in, and you can graze your stocks. Well, the only reason I'm wanting to sell is I'm thinking, you know, I'm 52 years old. I think I'm going to retire from dentistry by the time I'm 60, and the time to start planning for that is now. Plus, I'd like a new challenge. You know, the kids were raised out here. They ran around on 4-wheelers. They brought their friends out on 4-wheelers. Most of my kids' friends, that first deer they ever shot, or the first duck they ever shot, or, you know, they shot them out here. But now my kids are getting older, and other than the youngest one, they just don't come out here near as much, and I'm ready for another challenge. Well, I've known the guys with Hayden Outdoors and Stacy Johnson. I've known him, we've gone 4-wheeling since, well, I think in '99 was the first year I went 4-wheeling with them, and they have a good reputation, and plus, you know, just like how much effort they put into representing your property. To me, that's most impressive.
This is an incredible property in many ways. A property like this is what people usually just dream of finding, or in my case, just dream of getting the opportunity to sell. The property has all the amenities from oil production, livestock, ranching, recreation, everything from pheasant hunting, quail hunting, waterfowl, upland game, deer hunting, whitetail and mule deer, predator hunting, varmint hunting. Person could run cattle with horses, so you have equestrian. It's truly an all-inclusive property.
For more information on how to feature your property on LandLeader TV, please visit landleader.com.